President Trump will deliver the first State of the Union address of his second term tonight. The president last outlined his agenda before a joint session of Congress about a year ago, but that speech wasn't officially considered a State of the Union. At that time, Trump said the U.S. was, quote, on the verge of a comeback, the likes of which the world has never witnessed.
We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years or 8 years, and we are just getting started.
And CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand is live on Capitol Hill with a look at what to expect tonight. Natalie, good morning. Do we have a sense of how this year's speech might be different from last year's?
Good morning, Michael. Well, the speech comes at a critical time in President Trump's second term when he's facing midterms that will determine the balance of power here in Congress, less than 9 months away. And a number of his policies, from trade to immigration enforcement, are facing pushback here in Congress and also in the courts. We can expect to hear the president try to defend his economic agenda, even following that loss at the Supreme Court. He's doubled down on his tariff policy, promising new tariffs. We can expect him to probably talk about that and try to shape the GOP message heading into a critical election season. But also, Michael, keep in mind that we're still in this partial government shutdown impacting the Department of Homeland Security, this standoff here on Capitol Hill over how to reform immigration enforcement. And then on the national security front, we know the administration is weighing its next steps on Iran. So I will be listening to see what he says about that with more negotiations, nuclear talks expected later this week.
And Natalie, look, we know that Democrats are not going to like a lot of what the president has to say tonight. How do we expect them to respond?
Well, a number of Democratic lawmakers have come out and said that they are just going to boycott this speech outright and instead attend what's being called the People's State of the Union, counter-programming organized by some progressive groups. Other lawmakers say that they will be here in the chamber, but kind of silently show their disapproval. Take a listen.
I will be defiant in whatever way is appropriate. Certainly by silence. I won't be standing and applauding like my Republican colleagues will do as a matter of rote. But I think that others will choose other ways to express their disagreement or disapproval.
There's going to be some Democrats who are going to go to the State of the Union. There are others who are going to go to the mall. And I think that that's a good thing. I think it's good to have solidarity of actually both camps.
And another way lawmakers in the chamber will be making statements tonight is through the invited guests that they bring to the speech. A number of Democrats have said that they are going to bring survivors of the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein as they push for the release of all DOJ files related to the case, Michael.
All right, Natalie Brand, thank you.